Hey people, this is Pastor Tim Cox coming to you. A lot of people are listening to this Cortez lady, this new congresswoman. Um, she's a progressive socialist. Um, she's new in Congress. She took over a Democratic seat in New York, and she's already campaigning for the 2020 election, telling young people to get out and get people to run to take on the old Democrats to push the socialist agenda and to flip the other two houses and the executive branch to a socialist program. I'm telling all the people that can hear me, or this is a new site that I've just started up. It's old, but I haven't been able to really work on it a lot till here lately. The Lord has really spoke to my heart, and I'm an old veteran from the Cold War era, and I was in Germany. I seen the horrors of people living under the oppressiveness of socialism in East Germany, the oppressiveness of the Soviet Union that they put on the East German and Czechoslovakian people. People, socialism does not work. No matter what they're telling you, it does not work. Look what it's done to Venezuela. Look what it's done to Cuba. Do you realize the Cuban people don't even have up to date cars? They're still driving old cars that they can't get parts for. They have to refurbish the parts on the cars that they drive. They have to scrounge for parts or make parts for these old cars from the 1950s and 60s of these cars that they drive. They have nothing. They say they have a good healthcare system. Well, that's true. They in Cuba they do have a pretty good healthcare system, but they don't have a lot of people. They don't have the size of a country like America. I've talked to our friends to the north. Me and my wife took a few trips up to Canada, and we've had a chance to talk to people in Canada, and they all told us the same thing. Their medicine up there, their medical system up there stinks. That's why a lot of them come down here to get treatment. We had a friend of ours up there that was diagnosed with ulcers, and then he was diagnosed with colitis, and with a year later, he was diagnosed and died with colon cancer. It was missed up there because it takes forever to get a test done up there. It takes forever to see a physician. Uh, it's like standing in a food line or a chow line in the army. If you've ever been in the military, like I have, you know waiting in line is what you do, and you shouldn't have to wait in a line forever to see a doctor. This woman, Fortes, she has no idea of what she's talking about to try to socialize medicine and how long it would take to see a doctor. You have doctors now in this country that's in it for money. Uh, how many of these doctors do you think are going to stay around? A lot of the old good doctors are already getting out of the business because they have so much paperwork to fill out just to see one patient uh, for fear of being sued that they've just got out of the business altogether. It's not worth it. By the time they go through medical school and pay their bills, it's not worth it. So the ones that they do have are in it for compassion, but you're going to lose a lot of them if it goes to socialized medicine because the government is going to come down and tell them what they need to charge, how much they're going to charge, and your medical is going to suffer because they're going to tell them you can't do this test, you don't need to do this test, you can only do this test, and a lot of things are going to get missed, and a lot of people are going to die. Socialized government does not work. It didn't work in Russia. Millions of people died in Ukraine, in Russia. Uh, Millions of people died in China when Chairman Mao came. That's why they're all switching around. You see, China now is still considered a socialist country, but they're coming more around to a more capitalist system because they know it don't work. But they also have millions of people in prison that they've been caught putting people to death and selling their organs in the all over the world. Uh, that's what this country is going to turn out to be. If they don't like you, they'll get rid of you. If you don't adhere to their way of thinking, you'll end up in prison or a prison camp or a work camp, like they still have in some places, a gulag. And is that what America's about? We've never been about socialism. We need to stop this before it gets started. So, I'm a Republican. I don't agree with everything the Republicans say. Uh, Democrats, I know you don't agree with everything the Democrats say, but I know a lot of you Democrats know how hard we fought to save the world from communism. And that's what they're trying to put in this country now is communism. So if you're a Christian Democrat, you better think about what you're doing. And you better tell your young people and start educating them. Because that's what the problem is. We're sending our kids to these colleges. All the conservative teachers have gave up college. All the professors have just walked away. And they filled these colleges now with progressive teachers and socialist teachers. And that's who's teaching our kids. And that's what the future's going to be. We have to nip it in the bud and do it now. Education starts at home. Foremost, it starts at home. We have to teach our kids about God, country, and family. Actually, I said that wrong. It's God, family, and country is what we have to teach it about. And we have to love our neighbors. I don't think anybody should go sick and not have help. But we have ways to do that. You know, anybody can walk into an emergency room and get care in this country. And if they tell you they can't, they're lying. Because my wife's a nurse. They're not allowed to turn anybody away for health. They're just not allowed to do it. And the only people you see dying in the streets is in these Democratic ran cities, such as San Francisco, dying in the streets with needles still in their arms, or Detroit, uh, people with drug overdoses are being shot. Chicago, the murders that's going on there is unforgivable. And I'm telling you, these socialists say that they're for everybody, but as soon as they take reign, they're not going to be for everybody. They're going to flip around and they're going to be for whoever they deem they want to be for. And the rest of them will be pushed to the sideline, just like they always are. It's the good old boy network. You will not have a say so in your government. First comes the socialist government, then comes the socialist parliament, and then comes no say so for the people. So wake up, America. She looks charming, she looks young, and she looks vibrant. But Satan came as the most beautiful angel. God created him as the most beautiful angel. He was the first angel. He was colored in every jewel imaginable. Oh, how you are, you uh, angel of the morning star, colored in every fine stone of topaz and diamond and rubies. He was beautiful. So beware of the beauty and the beauty that it speaks, because underneath lays the serpent. So you guys have a blessed day. This is Pastor Tim Adcox, and I'll be making another video on this shortly. You guys have a blessed day, and God bless.